morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm gonna tilt this down just a little bit. All right. I'm Tim. Today is leg day. It's Wednesday. It's going to be so much fun. Love leg day. I just wanted to start this off by saying something and making some sort of sense. But that I missed the mark on that intro. All right, here we go. Let me regather my thoughts. All right, I'm Tim. This is my transformation for the year. I'm working on this is just streaming my workouts, showing what I'm doing, and having fun. The thing that's different about this transformation than other transformations is that I'm not taking any sort of supplements, so that's no protein shakes, no protein powders, no BCAAs, no creatine, nothing extra, so no pre-workouts. Not taking anything extra, just trying to see what I can do in a year of just taking, getting all my nutrients from food. So I'm not opposed to supplements. I think if you want to take supplements, that's great. I've taken supplements in the past. I've had, a lot of success with supplements. I just don't know if it's super necessary to take them in order to hit my current goals. So just trying to see. I feel like if you've been doing something for a while, sometimes it's good to take a break and reassess. Secondary reason for not taking supplements is that one of my kids started preschool, and preschool is not cheap. So cutting out supplements saves me at least $100 a month, $1,200 a year, and every little bit helps. So that is the deal. All right, going to be doing leg day. I love leg day. Oh man. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna start with some body weight squats. Make sure everything's working properly and nothing's gonna fall off. Here we go. All right. Mm. One thing that is going on is I don't know if you guys look at the news, but man, like wildfires keep like just jumping up out of nowhere in California these days. It's a little weird because usually wildfires happen a little later in the year, but there's a bunch that just keep little ones that keep happening, and thankfully, and there's some bigger ones. But it seems like they're really able to try and get on top of those, which I like. But if you're in California and you see Cal Fire trucks or firemen, I think it's always good to just tell them thank you and let them know that you appreciate what they do. And I didn't know this. I like to take my kids up to firemen to say thank you and just help my kind of get my kids to see who the firemen are and who policemen are. And I didn't realize that they give out free stickers. And one time my kid got to sit in the fire truck. It was in a parking lot, and they let him sit in the fire truck. And they gave him a fireman's hat. It was pretty cool. But take time. You're in California, wherever you are. Sure you give encouragement to firemen. And, law enforcement. My dad is a volunteer fireman, and he's been doing it for a few years now, and he really he really likes it. But one of the things that I didn't know until he became a volunteer fireman was talking about is the greater percentage of fire companies in the U.S. are actually and I can't think this morning. Don't worry, I will start thinking and making more sense. The greater percentage of firehouses in the U.S. are volunteer firehouses, and I didn't know that. I just assumed that every city had, or the majority of cities had a paid fire department, but there's a lot that are not paid. So annoyed yesterday. I still feel I had a lot to do yesterday. A lot of cleaning of the house, a lot of laundry, so much laundry. Like we went camping, and over the last weekend, and that laundry just stacks up, and then there's more laundry because of camping. So, like all this laundry to do, and just keeping the house clean. But with that, just like the bottom of my foot is bruised somehow, like near my heel. I don't know how I did it, but it's bruised. Sucks. This is just this little added bit of annoyance during the day. Talking about that bruised foot reminds me of the first time I ever reminds me of the first time I ever used an expletive in front of my mom. I didn't get in trouble. I was doing some work in my grandpa's garage, and I was up in this like loft area where he had a bunch of storage bins, and I jumped down and I jumped on a board that had a screw in it and let out an expletive. And she didn't say anything. And I've stepped on so many nails when I was younger. The worst part about this screw though was when I realized it was a screw and not a nail, and I had to unscrew it versus just just rip it out real fast. So that was fun. Unscrewing a board from your bottom of your foot is such a fun experience. That's why I liked when I had good work boots. I've worked like, you'll be working construction or a demo job, and you'll be walking around and you keep hearing this like click when you take a step, and you look down and you got like a nail in your boot, and you pull it out, and you're just so thankful that it didn't go into your foot because you have nice work boots on. That's always a relief. Proper safety equipment is a huge relief. All right. That was the 30 pounds, 13.6 kilograms. I gotta set up my 50-pound weights. 50 pounds. I was talking about safety equipment. There was one time I was doing a demo job when I was younger, and they had us taking out the ceiling ducts using a razor blade, an X-Acto knife. You're just cutting them out, and my hands like slipped through one. I wasn't paying attention, and I just brought the blade down on my hand super hard, and I was like, my like heart dropped. I was like, son of a gun. I just like sliced my hand in half probably. I was wearing leather gloves, and I took my gloves off, and I was expecting when I took the glove off for the hand to just like flop backwards or something, and all the fat and blood just be exposed. And thankfully that wasn't the case. The glove like saved my hand. I just had like a red mark. But my heart dropped. I thought for sure I'd cut my hand pretty good. And the part that sucks is that it would have been a workman's comp, but and I probably would have been covered, except it just wouldn't have mattered. Like I needed to work consistently. I needed that paycheck. So I was definitely stressed that I wasn't going to be able to work. But thankfully I didn't cut my hand off. So yeah, proper safety equipment. You gotta love it. It's gotta be there. All right, 50 pounds. Here we go. Oh man. What's up, Copa? Who says hello? How are you, Tim? I'm good, man. I'm good. Just enjoying some leg day. How are you doing? How is the world of France? Yes, still some heat. You look tired. Why? What happened? Oh, it's just life. And life just happens. Some days just more tired than others. Life is hard, that's why I come to watch you. But good, man. I'm glad. I think that's a nice thing about Twitch. You jump on and see people doing their thing. You give energy with your smile. Well, thank you. I'm glad. No, yesterday was not working out wise, but just in general was a little bit of a rough day. we were on vacation or camping for 3 days, so my wife was home a lot. And then yesterday she went back to work. And man, whenever we are home, whenever she's home for a while and she goes back to work, that first day is rough with the kids. They don't always do well with missing their mom. So it's hard to get them to do things and engage and listen. And then I just had a massive amount of cleaning to do all day, which makes it harder because they're not happy and then I'm busy. If it's not private, what is your job? Um, Man, right now my job is being a dad. Uh, I am a stay-at-home dad for now. When my kids are a little bit older, I'll go back to work. But one of the hardest jobs in the world, Copa says. And it's definitely not the easiest job I've had. I've had some pretty hard jobs. I think what makes it hard is that it doesn't stop. You never stop taking care of your kids. You can't clock out. So, and the part that's crazy is if you like your kids and love your kids, or like them, maybe, but like them, even when you do get away, you miss them and you want to get back. When I get a chance to step out for a couple hours, it's crazy how much you can start to miss them in just that small amount of time. But it's definitely a blessing. Koba says, every time I come to your stream, I see you better and better each day. That's very cool, man. Well, thank you, Koba. It's just baby steps. Gotta just try and push that rock up the hill a little bit more each time. Yeah, I definitely never saw myself as being a stay-at-home dad. You know, I've worked since I was a kid. You know, I started small jobs when I was young. I had my first real job at 16, and the idea of not working wasn't something that I had in mind. But right before my first child was born, like a year and a half, I started a business and was still growing it when they were born. And my wife's career had taken off, so she was making like 3 times what I was bringing in, and she had all the health benefits. So it just made the most logical sense to for me to stay home. And then it was really good because then COVID hit and all the kids had to stay home, and we were blessed because we didn't have to like worry about daycare and stuff. And it worked out. It was a huge blessing for us to be able to stay home. Coach says you got this, man. Thank you. Whew. That was a hard one. Do you think you drink enough water or not really? Um, so I hydrate before I lift. I try to hydrate anytime I'm working out. I try to hydrate like 30 minutes beforehand. So all I do when I'm working out is taking like sips. I don't really chug water when I'm working out. It's mostly just an excuse to take a little bit longer of a break to sip some water. But just sips. If I was like going really hard with cardio, I might drink more water. But I think it's when it comes to hydration, you really gotta drink a bunch of water beforehand. And the crazy thing is that I realized when I was like cutting carbs out of my diet and was doing lower carbs, my muscles started cramping more. I was like, that's crazy. Why am I like cramping all the time? And I like looked into it, and I guess like if you're cutting out carbs, your muscles don't hold on to as much water, so you're more prone to cramp. So I put carbs back in, and that stopped happening because I was drinking the same amount of water, which is like what was driving me nuts. Because the first things, a lot of things I was reading was like, oh, like if you're cramping, you need to hydrate more. And I was like, I can't really hydrate more. Like I hydrate really efficiently throughout my days, and then And that's when I saw the carb thing that, oh, if you're not eating carbs, your muscles can't hold as much water, and you need that. That's what's going to help you from cramping. So I was like, okay, I'll put carbs back in. So, and that's partly why, like, if I hit the treadmill or I go running and I put like a sweatshirt on and some sweatpants, like I can easily drop like 5-6 pounds in like no time, and probably like an hour or so of running, just from staying properly hydrated. And that was the other thing I was reading too, is that when you cut the carbs out, it seems like a good diet plan because you start, showing weight loss right away, but it is just that water weight. It's not real weight loss. And the, lack of carbs, if you're lifting or doing exercise, can have more of a detrimental effect than the gains of losing water weight. All right, Copa. You saw it first. Let's see. First time I've been able to complete the 5 sets of 15 with the 50 pounds. With the 50 pounds or 22.67 kilograms. I just saw your Spider-Man video on YouTube. I like the fact that you smile when you're talking. Oh, thanks, man. I just have a really hard time, like even when I'm like talking about something serious, I have a hard time like taking myself too serious in those times. And you see, like, a lot of people are good at it. They'll give like a serious talk, but I don't know. That's not my forte. I can be serious, but I like to have fun. What's up, Dixie Vixie? Hey, I just was watching some of your your clips last night. Sorry it took so long, but I clicked the follow button, so hopefully next time you go live, my kids are not all over the place. They jump on and say hi. We'll do the reverse of this, where you talk and I type. My legs are doing all right now. They're in the midst of their woes. So it's my arms from holding the weight and my grip that start to get more tired first. My legs kind of just get into a like mental side of like, all right, this is just what we're doing, and it's fine. Kopa said she is a good streamer like you, Tim. Well, cool. I'm excited. I like watching happy people and people that are having fun. I'm really trying to change the algorithm on my YouTube. When I watch things, I'm trying to get it so it's going to just show me more happier stuff than the controversial stuff it tries to send me all the time. And it's hard because you'll do good for a few days, and then some story will pop up that you're like interested in, and you'll click on it, and it'll send you down a rage hole, or you'll be like watching more and more of this stuff, and then you've screwed up your algorithm again. You have to be like really consistent with only watching happy stuff for it to stay that way. So Dixie says 1 click is all it takes. Yeah, it's crazy how, and it's funny is the YouTube algorithm does work similar to our own brains, in that even if you took the YouTube out of it, you put YouTube to the side, whatever you're getting excited about during the day, your brain will just create its own content to trigger those same feelings. You know, your brain will do the same thing as YouTube. So if you're telling your brain, hey, I like dark thoughts, and that's what's going to, get my chemicals in my brain rushing, your brain will just supply you with dark thoughts all day. If you're like, I want to think happy and positive, and your brain like, okay, cool, like this person's like getting some dopamine rush off of being happy and positive now, and we like that, so we'll just paint things in a more positive light and call the memory good memories instead of just darkness and despair. I started to realize that when I was like, hold on, I'm gonna do a set and then I'll tell this next part. This is the 40 pounds, the 18.14 kilograms. So when I was younger, I was like 19. I was really into this game called Hitman 2, and you're an assassin, and your job is to infiltrate, and you're like sneaking around and killing people in order to get in and out unnoticed. And I found